The text wasn't even mine. It showed up on my mom's phone one afternoon while she was in the kitchen, and I was sitting on the couch pretending to work. The screen lit up beside me, and I glanced at it without thinking, just one of those reflexes you don't question until it's too late. Last night meant more to me than I expected. I froze. It wasn't her name that shocked me. It was the silence in the house right after. The way everything suddenly felt heavier, like something invisible had shifted. I didn't open the message. I didn't need to. Just that one line sat there, glowing, waiting to be understood. That evening, I left the house earlier than usual. I didn't want to sit at dinner and pretend everything was normal. I didn't want to look at her and wonder. So I walked. No destination, just moving. That's how I ended up at the old railway platform near the edge of the city, the one nobody really used anymore. She was already there, sitting on one of the rusted benches, legs crossed, scrolling through her phone like the world around her didn't exist. I almost turned back, but then she looked up, not dramatically, not like something out of a movie, just casually. And for a second, our eyes met like we both realized at the same time we weren't supposed to be there. "Hey," she said, like we knew each other. I nodded. "Hey." There was space on the bench. I hesitated for a moment before sitting down, leaving a polite distance between us. "I come here when I need quiet," she said after a minute. I let out a small breath. Same. It wasn't even true. I had never been there before, but it felt easier than explaining anything real. She smiled a little, like she knew I was lying but didn't mind. "I'm Sarah," she said. "Zion. Rough day?" she asked, tilting her head slightly. I looked at the empty tracks ahead of us. Something like that. She didn't push. That was the first thing I noticed about her. Most people try to fill silence. She just let it exist. We sat there for a while, saying nothing. The sun dipped lower, turning everything soft and orange. A train passed in the distance, but it didn't stop. "Funny, isn't it?" she said suddenly. "What?" "How places like this feel like they're waiting for something that's never coming. Ich glänzte her." Or maybe they already missed it. She looked at me then, properly this time. Not just a glance. A look that felt like she was trying to understand something she couldn't see. "You always think like that?" she asked. "Only on bad days." She smiled again, softer this time. We didn't exchange numbers. We didn't make plans. When the sky turned dark, we just stood up at the same time like we had an unspoken agreement. "See you around," she said. "Maybe." As I walked away, I realized something strange. For the first time since that message, my mind wasn't replaying it. And for some reason, that made me curious. Not about the message. About her. I went back the next day. Not because I believed in coincidences. Just curiosity. She was there again. Same bench. Different outfit. This time, a light blue shirt and jeans, her hair tied loosely like she didn't try too hard but still got it right. "You came back," she said like she had expected it. "So did you." Fair. That became our thing. 3 days turned into a week into a routine. We didn't label it. Didn't even acknowledge it out loud. But every evening around sunset, we were there. First, it was just conversations about random things. Movies, food, childhood memories. Then it got deeper. One evening, it started raining unexpectedly. We ran under the broken shelter nearby, laughing like kids. "You ever feel like you're stuck between who you are and who you're supposed to be?" she asked suddenly, watching the rain hit the tracks. I hesitated, then nodded. "All the time." She exhaled slowly. "I'm 25, and I still don't know if I'm doing anything right." "You're here," I said. "That count for something." She laughed softly. "That's a low bar. It's honest." That was one of the bonding moments I didn't notice at the time, but stayed with me later. Another time, we grabbed tea from a roadside stall and walked along the platform, talking about places we wanted to visit. "I want to move," she admitted. "Where?" "Anywhere that feels like mine." I stopped walking for a second. "That's big." She shrugged. "Not really. Just honest." The third moment was quieter. We were sitting closer than usual that day. Not intentionally. It just happened. "My dad passed away last year," she said suddenly. I turned to her. She wasn't crying. Just calm. "I'm sorry." She nodded. "He used to tell me not to wait too long for things. That life doesn't pause for you." I swallowed. He sounds smart. He was. There was a pause. "My family." I started then stopped. She waited. There's something going on, I said eventually. I don't fully understand it yet. She didn't ask questions, just nodded like she trusted I'd say more when I could. And that meant more than anything. Our routine became comfortable. Too comfortable. We didn't realize it then, but somewhere between those quiet evenings and shared silences, we had built something real. And maybe that's where the problem started. Because she wanted to move forward, and I wasn't even sure where I was standing. It started with a simple question. Where do you see yourself in a year? We were sitting on the bench, like always. But something about the air felt different that day. I don't know, I said honestly. She looked at me. You don't, or you don't want to think about it. Both. She nodded slowly, but I could feel the shift. I've been applying for jobs in other cities, she said. I forced a smile. That's good. Is it? I hesitated. Yeah, it is. But my voice didn't match the words. She noticed. You don't sound convinced. It's just sudden. It's not, she said gently. I've been thinking about this for months. I looked away. The silence that followed wasn't comfortable anymore. That night, I went home and stared at my phone for a long time. Her name was there. I wanted to text something simple, something normal. But my mind kept drifting back to that message on my mom's phone, the one that started everything. Things were changing. In my house, in my life, and now with her too. I started overthinking everything. What if she left? What if I stayed the same? What if I wasn't enough for the life she wanted? The next few days felt heavier. We still met, still talked, but there were pauses now. Small ones, noticeable ones, and neither of us knew how to fix them. I got an offer. She said it casually, but her hands gave her away. Fingers fidgeting slightly, eyes searching my face. That's great, I said. Another city, she added. Of course it was. When? A month. I nodded slowly. We both knew what that meant. Neither of us said it. So, she said quietly, what do we do? I didn't have an answer. I don't want to hold you back, I said eventually. And I don't want to leave something real behind. Her voice cracked slightly, but she held it together. We sat there, not touching, not looking at each other, just existing in that moment. The sun set. The platform grew darker. Neither of us moved. And in that silence, the answer started forming. We just weren't ready to say it yet. Texts became shorter. Did you eat? Yeah. Good. Calls turned into missed calls. Then into I'll call later. We still met, but less frequently. And when we did, we acted like nothing had changed. That was the hardest part. One evening, we sat on the bench again, sipping tea. This feels normal, she said softly. Yeah, but it didn't. It felt like pretending, like we were trying to hold on to something already slipping away. She smiled at me that day, a real smile, and it hurt more than anything. That night, I typed a message. Maybe we should talk about us. I stared at it for a long time, then deleted it. We met at a park bench this time. Neutral ground. Safe. She was already there when I arrived. Hey, she said. Hey. We sat down, leaving just enough space between us to feel it. I leave next week, she said. I know. Silence. I don't think distance is the problem, she said slowly. I looked at her. It's timing, she added. It's always been timing. I nodded. We found something real, she said, but not at the right moment. My chest tightened. I don't want to turn this into something that hurts us later, she continued. Me neither. There were pauses. Half sentences. Word we couldn't finish. So this is it? I asked quietly. She looked at me, eyes soft but certain. This is us letting go with love. I swallowed hard. Okay. We didn't hug immediately. We just sat there for a few seconds longer, memorizing the moment. Then she stood up. I followed. We hugged briefly. Not tight. Not desperate. Just real. When we pulled away, she smiled. Take care of yourself, Zion. You too, Sarah. She turned and walked away. I didn't stop her, because some stories don't end with someone staying. They end with someone understanding. It's been a year. The railway platform is still there. I went back once. Sat on the same bench. It felt smaller somehow. Or maybe I had just grown. Things at home changed too. That message I saw, it turned out to be something misunderstood. Not what I thought. Funny how one line can reshape your entire perspective. I started focusing on myself more. Work, routine, clarity. I stopped avoiding questions about the future. Started answering them. Sometimes I think about her. Not with regret. With gratitude. Because what we had wasn't a mistake. It was a realistic love story. One that taught me that not every emotional love story is meant to last forever. Some are meant to teach you how to let go. And maybe that's what makes a romantic breakup story meaningful. Not the ending, but the way it changes you. Because in the end, the right person at the wrong time still teaches you how to recognize the right time when it finally comes.